I think I just made us go live, but I don't really know actually. This is why we told people to tune in. It's because
trying to.
like there
I keep turning off my camera too, which is good.
that is good. I am not seeing us on our Facebook page yet. You know, what could possibly go wrong?
What indeed?
This is yep, it shows connected. I think we're live. We're trying a new thing in case we are live. The beautiful thing about Facebook, and by beautiful I mean not beautiful at all, is that there is when you go to to my Andrew Hits artist page on Facebook, it's just you have to scroll like over and over and over again to get to anything. We are live, Lance. We've been
What?
live for 45 seconds. See,
Holy cow!
that's what I thought.
All right, I
But
need
you have to scroll past so much crap to get to where you actually need to get to. Look at Bruce Deal is just handing out hearts like he's only going to live until midnight. He's like,
Aw, Bruce.
he just logged in. He's just like, here's a heart. You
Brucey.
guys feel like look like you need it.
He's got a point.
Yeah, well, there is that. And now there's supposed to be like a unified place for chat, and then oh, old guys trying new technology.
Mm-hmm.
I actually dig the whole I kind of dig the whole you know trying streaming technology because you can't really test stream very easily. I mean, you know, it's like anyway. There's supposed to be a place where you could see all of the chat, but I don't know where that is. So how are you, Lance?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I can't get anything to work, so situation normal.
Guess what I did today?
Flossed your dog.
I did not. Floss my dog.
Vacuumed out the trunk of your car.
Wow, that was getting loud in my ear. No,
Turned up your volume so that you could hear me really loud.
I didn't need to do that.
I give up.
I played a gig today.
Oh, I saw that on a thread. Yeah.
How about that? I got a call to fill in for the with the Kennedy Center Opera Quintet, where we actually played a gig in the courtyard of the Watergate, which is enormous, and the vast majority of our audience was people who live at the Watergate on their balconies. It's actually kind of hip. It was pretty neat. Like they were very appreciative, very appreciative.
How many people were in your quintet?
And the quintet was ridiculous. I mean, it was Tim White, who's principal trumpet of the Kennedy Center Opera, and Peter DeBoer on horn, Daniel Brady on trombone from both, and Matt Harding on who's the principal cornet of the Marine Band, and Dan Brady is trombone in the Marine Band. Peter is, of course, from the opera. So, it was incredible. And I was a last minute fill in for Seth Cook, my good friend. And so I lived the dream today, Lance. They had a rehearsal yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was not at it. I just I showed up and we sang one tune down. There was a Puccini aria where there was a lot of fermatas and breath marks, and I couldn't, I didn't. The other thing is I was playing with people who actually know arias, like they can probably sing the whole thing and probably the words, because those guys, a couple of those guys have been in, and Matt Harding subs with the opera all the time, so. I knew the least opera, and that was the only one. Other than that, it was just let's start at the top, and I'll see you at the other side. So,
well, that's good.
It was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
Did you know where your gig bag was? What was the hardest thing to find? Because you probably had to wear certain things you haven't had to wear in a long time. You had to bring certain things you haven't had to use.
The hardest thing to find was everything.
Your give a crap?
It was no. The give a crap was screaming. Yeah, that was it was really, really fun. No, it was it was like finding
dress socks.
Dress socks were actually the only thing that I found easily, believe it or not. My dress shoes were buried in the back of my closet, which was on purpose because I haven't needed them in a very long time. There was what else? My dress shirt looked like someone had used it for a pillow to sleep in the park, balled up. my suit had been dry cleaned, which was awesome. I found two of my favorite sweaters, which apparently were dry cleaned. I didn't know that, and were hanging with dry cleaning bags like in the back of the closet. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, it was eventful. Like my stand wasn't in the car, like nothing was
Right.
in the car because
Yeah.
I took all of that out. 'Cause I was like, when am I gonna ever need this ever again
I
for as
took
long as I live?
almost all of my I usually, I just got it. I got an office at CME. I've been teaching there forever. I got an office for the first time in January, mid-January of this year. Got to enjoy that office for about a month and a half. And so I've been keeping my hard cases here in the basement. But now, since the world has flipped, I took all the hard cases and they're in my office instead of taking up space in the basement, which is where I do all of my work now. So
Right.
now it's like a storage room at my office. Hey, I got a notification that we're live on our channel at Brass Junkies Sundays through YouTube.
That's true.
So if you are a subscriber on YouTube, you got a notification.
How about that?
So become one. We had quite a few join today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I was
What are
wondering if
up
we
to? I didn't
offered like over. I don't want to get this wrong. I thought it was like over 300, maybe
know. Maybe. I was going to go and look.
like 320 something. I don't know.
Oh, it says we're live now. Look at that. Oh, man. Jeez. Oh, gosh. Look at there. This is me looking for the information that I would find at the place that I currently am.
Oh, it's one of my favorite parts about this is the fact that Lance's
324.
Yeah, there you go. That Lance's camera doesn't work half the time, so which is kind of exciting. So since I just use the camera on it's not a brand new iMac, but it's pretty close, and it works great. I have the same camera, but my wife actually has appropriated it, so for her teaching stuff.
Anytime I have to reconfigure something down here at all, it's just like I've taken the Etch-a-Sketch and shaken it upside down for some reason.
I finally have a system in place where I do not flick a single switch, unplug a single cable. The me packing up is this.
Yeah. That's the norm. There was an extenuating circumstance involving my son and an HDMI cable. And once you, it doesn't matter. Once you tip the first domino, then.
Kids ruin everything is kind of true.
Yeah, well.
So you have a separate computer for the summer house or the cottage or whatever you're calling your cabin, your A-frame, whatever it is?
I call it, I don't know what I call it. I better have a good name for it before I come up with an official name for it. I don't have a computer there, but generally, if all I'm doing is just connecting everything but the computer, it's not an issue. If I have to monkey with no one cares. If I have to monkey with if I have to do that before I do that, then it just screws everything up. But now I have one of those and all the cables there, so I just have to take this there.
That's
so
pretty
I don't have
funny.
to do this or that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Well, all right.
So how about our episode this past week?
Yeah, that was insane. Like I didn't. To be honest, I didn't know her, but I don't know anybody, so that's not.
You can be honest because we talked about that on the air. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, she was such an impressive. I was going to say impressive, and then I was switched to incredible. So that's impressive.
Chanel
so she is
Critchlow. Impressive. This is a side kind of entrepreneurial musician type point here, which is that there are so many remarkable musicians that it is easy to not know someone like Chanel, who is incredible and who is like forward facing and or outward facing rather. I mean, in terms of she puts out content. I'm reminded that I was emailed. I do read pitch emails for TEM because out of every 100, there is one that actually makes a really good guest. And so I try to find that needle in a haystack. And one was a woman named Kathy Heller, who had someone who took the initiative that was working for her and pitched her for the show. And she was incredible. And it turned out that when I interviewed her, I think she's way bigger now. This was like a few years ago. She was getting like 80 to 100,000 downloads of her podcast. do quit your day job like within 48 hours of it going live. And she was a performer and a creative, and she had interviewed Seth Godin. I mean, she was like, her podcast is incredible, and she's an amazing interviewer and is a very genuine person, and like exactly the kind of podcast that I would listen to. And she's in my space, which I'm actually paid to pay attention to, and I never heard of her. Yet there's just too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and this, I mean, and you're paying attention,
Right.
which is, I'm online for the amount of time of this call and about 6 to 8 minutes a week. Am I in an online, like, social media environment?
Right.
Now, I am currently on YouTube for many hours a day because I'm addicted to the show Taskmaster. I cannot stop watching Taskmaster. I can't stop watching it. I'm watching it all the time. Have you ever seen it?
You know, you've talked about it extensively recently.
I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop watching it. It's brilliant. It's very funny, and I think I'm mad because it's an idea that I wish I'd had. And actually, I've been toying with a way to do Taskmaster-like challenges involving you and me and close friend. Like Matt Murchison would be hilarious, Pat would be hilarious, Jeff Nelson would be hilarious, and have some sort of online task that we would do individually and then stitch them together and then be online to rag on each other's submission. So, but that takes way too much effort. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue to binge watch this show.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to get offline, but this is where all of my impact is at this point.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm old and grumpy and getting older and grumpier. And just like, nah. No, all my stuff is at school now. So I just, in fact, did I tell you? I told you. I got funding for a thing. And so I'm starting a new thing actually in the spring. I think I can talk about it. Well, I'm going to do it. It's my project, so I guess I could talk about it. So I'm working on developing a either AR or VR performance simulator.
Do you call those R or VR?
Yeah, I do, but that's me. So there's my first...
Sorry, I'm used to no one in my house laughing at my jokes. They're only for me. So,
I have a student who's interested in participating already, and I have funding. And so the first thing we're going to do is, there's a bunch of 360 videos of orchestras playing certain repertoire. And so it's not an ideal place to start, but it is a place to start that doesn't cost very much money. So we're going to put him and his double bass in and amongst the orchestra playing along with the repertoire that they play. That's the starting point, and then we're going to branch out from there. There's an obvious first flaw, which is that he can't see his instrument in VR. So we could create a digital one, but this is where it might be that AR makes more sense. But these are the problems we're going to explore. But it's so exciting. And
that's cool. Yeah, you're way into that stuff. I see one of those 360 videos, and I'm like, yeah, that's neat. And then I'm done. But
I think it's neat, but then I think, well, how could you apply this thing to teach or to perform or to create? And so then that's where we get to go.
Uh-oh. Tony Prisk just tried Oculus last night, and he's buying one tomorrow.
There you go.
That means he's strapping something that you have to be logged into Facebook to use onto his face. What could possibly go wrong?
Make sure you get there's needles that come out of the thing. Make sure you get them right on your temples, because if they miss the temples, it hurts.
Mark Zuckerberg's going to be able to see right into your soul, Tony. Like it's gonna be scary. So
well, that'd be interesting. Like, now, if they succeed, let's just play along for a second. If they succeed in breaking up Facebook, do you think Oculus will have to be spun back out?
Yeah, who knows? It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I mean, they might only have to divest. I mean, this is all speculation, but I wonder if they divested Instagram and WhatsApp.
And yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Yep. Tony Prisk says his loss to Zuckerberg seeing directly into his soul. That's funny, Tony.
That is very funny.
That's funny. I try not to encourage trumpet players, but that was a good line right there.
That's a winner.
Yeah. So, by the way, I've got the unified chat thing up, which is good.
Oh,
so
it's working smoothly.
It is working. Yeah.
What platform are we using, by the way?
We are using Caster.
Caster, that's my favorite one.
Yep. So, Yeah, this is the best one I've ever used.
I've never used a better one than this one.
So yeah, we signed up for this so that we could so that we can stream to YouTube and to Facebook, and I'm going to be doing events like this for that go to Andrew Hitt's page, and Jamie Hood checking in from France. Go to bed.
What's happening, Jamie?
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
yeah. There's a blast from the past. I mean, I haven't really left my house for a year, so kind of everyone's a little bit of a blast from the past. But yeah, I think it's I spoke to Jamie like we spoke a couple of times, chatted about podcasts and the like. But I'm like just old enough, and the pandemic thing, and like having a kid, and my brain's all scrambled. Like you could tell me that was 5 years ago, and I would believe it, or you could tell me that was like a year ago, and I would believe it. And that's kind of like a wide range there. But I've like maybe I was still in Boston Brass, which would make it like 7 years ago. I don't know.
I talked to him. This is an interesting bookend to the year because the last time I had contact, like extensive, was not the right way to say it, but the last time I had regular contact with him was at the beginning of 2020. He sent me his newest CD, his newest album, which is unfrickin' believable. It's so good.
He's decent.
It's really, really great. I highly recommend it.
He's up and coming.
It's superb, really fantastic playing, and some really nice pieces on there that I wasn't familiar with the pieces either.
So Ellen says hello to us two knuckleheads, and I believe it's like 3 or 4 of these type things in a row, and she has logged on late enough that we have ended immediately afterwards. So should we just, out of like for consistency, should we just kill the stream?
Yeah. Shut her down.
So I hijacked the conversation about Chanel, just talking about how you hadn't heard from her, et cetera, or hadn't heard of her. How unbelievably hip and talented, and like, I mean, that woman is making art that the world needs. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I mean, we joke about how old I am, and God knows I am that old, but it's not like I'm. Hopefully, I've still got a few decades in me. But I have been doing this long enough that there's in fact, I'll share a story. I was teaching a student the other day who's a grad student. I will not divulge who it was, Cole. And he said something about Bobby Barron. And I pointed out to him that I knew Bobby when he was in middle school and high school. And the student, said, I forget you're that old. Which I think is a compliment. I don't know.
I think Bobby's been in his military band gig for, I think he's more than halfway to retirement age at this point.
Probably.
I think he's like closer to 15 than 10, but I'm not sure. But yeah, he's not young. Hey, Jamie, good night.
Good night, Jamie.
He said it was a year ago, finally getting his ass in gear. He'll be back in touch in a few weeks, which, like, you could get back in touch in 6 months, and I'll think it was a few weeks. So that's the good news. You don't have to follow through on anything with me because I don't know any better. So he says he's going to bed. So, yep, sweet dreams in France. So,
well, let me go back to the direction I was going in when you asked, rather than the second or third rabbit hole I went down. From doing it as long as I've been doing it, there are certain artists who come along that I go, oh, good. Oh, good. Someone's like doing interesting, creative stuff that's not just the norm. And great that people are recording the repertoire that they're recording. If it's been recorded before and you want to put your own stamp on it, awesome. But to have people that are boldly charging into new directions just really is a shot in the arm, because I am not, if you didn't know, Andrew, I'm not really a traditionalist when it comes to our instruments. And so anytime somebody comes out and is just like, can knock it over like that, I'm in. I'm excited and relieved in a strange way.
Yeah, our conversation with Chanel, which just came out on Tuesday, you should totally check it out if you haven't. She, Abby Lanane, I can never get her last name right. who does an amazing job with our social media, and I do know how to pronounce her last name. I just like to poke fun. She posted a quote from TBJ 152 featuring Chanel, which was a really good one. A lot of musicians have a hard time putting themselves out there. We wait for the perfect moment, and then years later, we haven't done anything. So my whole thing is just do something, put anything out there, and then learn from it. That's it. That's it right there.
That's a cooler way of saying what Seth Godin says.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta as Seth Godin says, like until you share the art, it doesn't count. It's like it doesn't count. I agree. Share it. Yeah, share it. So and then but I like her attitude, right? Like learn from it. I mean, yeah, it's so vital. I mean, Lance? Are you equally proud of every single artistic thing that you have ever shared with the world?
100%.
You are lying.
No, I would say, and actually, let's see. I would say that I'm like especially proud of 30% of it, and then pretty proud of another 40% of it, and then like, oh boy, for 30% of it.
And let me be clear, you should be proud of putting all 100% of it out because it takes courage to share stuff, right? I mean, it just does. And it's funny, the better that you are, when you play the trumpet like Tony Prisk, there is an expectation. When you play like Jamie Hood, there is an expectation of you can't just throw. You can, but people will talk. If you just throw something that's just a Charlie etude that's just not very polished, there's actually a higher bar there. And so it's funny that when you're nobody, you can be scared to post stuff because nobody's going to care, and why should anyone care? And then when you're really accomplished and in the Philadelphia Orchestra, you can be afraid to post stuff because it's got to be like the perfect sound, and it's got to be the perfect run, and it's got to be the perfect this, it's got to be the perfect that. Tony says, "Where is this going?" See, I complimented him, and now he's wondering, when is the other shoe going to drop? No, but the point is that we can trick ourselves into fear of not shipping, of not sharing all of this stuff. Anybody at any level can trick themselves into not sharing, and it's all bullcrap. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to tell that voice to go screw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So there.
Take that.
I have spoken. Chanel, you should check out Chanel's YouTube channel. Is awesome. Her Instagram, or Insta as the kids call it, because they don't have time to say that third syllable.
I would just call it Go the other way. See my post on
whenever Helen, how about that? Helen Lucan in with a hi, Andrew and Lance, with 3 exclamation points. I think she's surprised to hear that we're still alive. I think that's what that means.
Get in line.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute since we've played with her. She's an unbelievable pianist. So I'm always busting on Renan Meyer because when he texts like a legit young person, even though he's like 44, but instead of thank you, he will text like TY. Then I will occasionally just text him back and be like, did you really save enough time to justify not adding the Hank?
See, if it was me, I would write back, who's Ty?
That's good. Except it's not even a capital. It's like lowercase t, lowercase y.
I know, but that would slow me down. Bring the logic into it. Yeah, my children, they're less so lately, but there was a period, I've given up on me clearly. And students sometimes tell me that they feel like I'm scolding them because I punctuate my texts.
That's a thing.
Not to me. I'm punctuating my texts. That's where I draw the line.
That is a thing. There you go. We all have to choose our battles. So
that one's mine. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a thing. They don't like the punctuation. Yeah. It feels like it's
Here's a blast from the past. So Sam Palafian,
Never heard of him.
I'm trying to think. I mean, this would have been like iPhone like 4 or 5. I mean, this is going back 10, 12. I think I must have been in the quintet a dozen or more years ago. He started convincing me, or trying to convince me, that I should use emojis. And that all these emojis had just come out. Remember when he was like so excited about the emojis?
He only communicated in emojis for a little while when primarily it was 12-year-olds and Sam Palafian doing that. Yes.
Yeah. And I remember him like taking my phone and showing me where they all were, and here's how you turn on that keyboard.
He was an evangelist for them. He was like a damn Fish fan, where it's like it's not just okay that I like them, like you need to as well. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I just jumped into my head. Like, of all the things. Well, it's like I was talking with my boss at CMU. He was like, what's the deal with texting? And I was like, what do you mean, what's the deal with texting? Like, what's the point of texting? And I was like, well, if I don't want to talk to you, I would think you would, like, knowing him, and he wouldn't be mad to hear me say this out. He would nod vigorously. You don't like talking to anyone. Like, why would you? This is better because then you don't actually have to talk to anyone. You can just send a message. And he was like, well, why not just email? And I go, well, because then you got to log into your email, and then you. And so this is probably 10 years ago, and now, or I don't know, whatever it was. I reminded him of this a couple of days ago, and he stands by it. He's like, I use it. I still don't think it's better. I'm still not convinced it should be a thing. Like, okay.
It should be, it should be, dear Professor Leduc. Yes. Yep. Speaking of not wanting to talk to people, I ordered a T-shirt last night, which I am very excited about. And it simply says, when this virus is over, I still want some of you to stay away from me.
That's funny.
That is funny. Yep, I'm happy. Also, Jake Willis, the always helpful Jake Willis, says, always punctuate your texts. Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat, comma, Grandma. Punctuation saves lives.
I like it. That's a good one. Have you ever seen, speaking of, crushing my own head. Gosh, yeah. Jake's, the fountain pens that he makes?
No.
Oh, mind-boggling. Beautiful. Some of the most beautiful examples of these things you can imagine.
Huh.
Yeah, they're works of art. Really
and he
incredible.
makes them.
He and a partner, they are in cahoots doing the pens. Yeah.
There you go. That's cool.
They're very cool. Yep. And all these I don't know if they're rare, but exotic woods and I don't know. He knows like a lot about it.
They're on the way into. I'm laughing at something. I'm not laughing at Jake. I mean, there's plenty of reasons to laugh at Jake. I wasn't laughing at Jake, or no, at all. Yes, just for this time. No, they're Edison Pen Company. There you go. Thank you, Jake. We'll give you a plug. When you're driving to the for us it's the second, not the northernmost entrance of Skyline Drive, but the one that's south of that. You go through a town. I can't remember the name of the town, but there is a store, and that is like a furniture store. And there's a sign up that says antique tables made daily. And I'm like, well,
I know this place. I know exactly that place.
You can make like antique style tables, but if like the table was made like, I don't know, in like June, can it be an antique? Like, isn't that kind of baked into the definition? Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. What
they're in on the joke. Do you know what the deal is?
No.
They use old repurposed wood, or they'll use like barn wood, and so it's all like antique wood, and then it's made to look rustic and to look like an antique. So they're in on the joke, fortunately. But that is a beautiful, very funny sign.
They've got some, I won't elaborate, but they had a number of other signs up that they recently took down across a wide range of subjects that I would not have assumed that they got any jokes. So, I won't be shopping there anytime soon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, Jake says, please laugh at Jake.
Me now? I missed it.
Who was the politician who said, please clap? I'm trying to think of who that was. That's kind of like a please laugh. Yeah, type moment. Anyway, um, I don't remember who it was.
Mm-mm.
They're all worthy of making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so check out Chanel. Chanel's got the bonus episode is coming up. That was we got to meet her son in the bonus episode.
That was fun.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
What was he beating the hell out of? Remember, what was he doing?
He was banging on a table or something.
With something that was funny.
Yeah.
But see, this is what happens. That was
Yeah.
it, 10 days ago? I don't know. 3 years ago?
I mean, they're kind of condensed days. I mean, they're compact. Jake says his life is fulfilled. Man, that was a
Wow.
it must have been
Pretty good.
must have been pretty close to fulfilled to begin with, if that's what just tipped him over the line. So what else do we? Yeah, I can't believe I played a gig today, man.
That is kind of crazy.
Right? Yeah, it was kind of crazy. You know, it was like where it was all very. It was surreal, sitting with my tuba in my lap. You know, and we didn't have. I'm taking, as you know, Lance, I am taking the whole coronavirus thing incredibly seriously, and I have like an N98 mask, and before you email me and say that the particles can still get through that, they generally attach to bigger things which would get stopped, and I don't think it makes me immune. But anyway, email Abby at petalowmedia.com if you want to give me a science lesson. But it was, you know, I'm not convinced that bell covers. Are you convinced that bell covers do anything?
I think they probably do for trombones. They possibly do for horns. They will almost assuredly do next to damn nothing for you and me.
Right. I mean, right? I mean, yeah. Like, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
So you know, we didn't have bell covers, and we weren't playing with like masks with holes in them, but we were completely outside. You know, the courtyard of the Watergate is enormous. I mean, it's huge. There are 3 buildings. There's the East Tower, the North Tower, and then there's the hotel.
The Dark Tower.
Yes, the Dark Tower. I'm not sure where the bungled burglaries happened, but But yeah, it was so it was like way, and the audience was set back, and like I said at the beginning, you know, the vast majority of the audience was up on their balconies. But people were, you know, they were very appreciative. But then at the end, when, you know, the person who was running it said how appreciative they were to hear music. I mean, these are people that live next to the Kennedy Center. Like, I think most of these people hear live music all the time. I think that's why you would live right there, is because you can literally walk to your seat in 8 minutes from your lobby.
Right.
And I mean, like, in your seat. I'm not saying to the Kennedy Center. It's like a 4-minute walk to the Kennedy Center and then another 4 minutes to get seated. That'd be nice.
It's so convenient to get to anywhere else in Washington, D.C. from right there, isn't it? Oh, wait, that's right.
But why would you want to,
If you
though?
were there, then what's the point? Yeah, you
Well,
might as well just hang out.
and actually now with Uber and Lyft, it actually
Yeah,
is,
that's
because you
right.
can, yeah, like, things have changed. So, no, Ellen was asking about Tuba Christmas. There was no Tuba Christmas this year, unless they got a unless they got a new conductor. Since I conduct every year, maybe that happened, and maybe they just shared it on all their Facebook feeds, but minus Andrew Hitz. Like, stranger things have happened. So, if somebody maybe messaged me on the side, not publicly, like, actually it did happen at the Kennedy Center, and it was not you. It was your arch rival. Who is my arch rival, Lance?
Chanel.
I was hoping to pick on somebody who I maybe had a chance against.
Let's
All right,
see.
I guess Chanel is my arch nemesis.
Your arch nemesis.
There we go.
Nemesis. That's good. I mean, I would say Jeff, but that's kind of obvious. And it's too playful now. So arch nemesis. That's good. Jens.
Yeah, but not really.
No. Not in real life. No.
I'm softening, man. I don't even have any arch nemesis.
I don't know.
I don't even have it since I don't have a teaching gig anymore. Like, all of my students, they've all opted in. Like, none of
Right.
them are like that. There's none of them who are getting a degree somewhere and they are required to do this class. So then they have to take it with me. It's like they're like, so I don't even have any students that don't care.
Right.
It's very weird.
It is odd.
It's wonderful.
There you go.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I mentioned this. We did an interview on Thursday night, but we haven't spoken since then. Earlier that evening, prior to the Brass Junkies episode 153, which will come out in 2 weeks from Tuesday.
A week from Tuesday.
A week from Tuesday in 9 days. I had the opportunity to interview Keith Lockhart on a Zoom call with our remote performance class at CMU. He's an alum.
I do actually want to hear about this, but Matt Owen says he'll take on the arch nemesis role. So yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
that's that sweet.
Yeah, that is kind of sweet. I mean, and he's still a hell of a lot younger than me, but he's not as young as he used to be. So I'm still scared, but not as scared. So yeah, I can take Matt. That's fine.
That's pretty good.
All right. So Keith Lockhart, go for it.
Keith Lockhart got his master's in conducting at Carnegie Mellon a bit back, and it was our final class of the semester, so he agreed to talk to the class, and it was really just fascinating. He's conducted everybody everywhere. He's conducted like just about every orchestra in just about every city on the planet. And to hear him talk about what they're up to, there's a virtual Boston Pops Christmas or holiday special, whatever it is, online. But to hear what their experiments have been and just his sort of assessment of where things are and where they might go was really a shot in the arm, I think, for the students. He's a realist. Like, he's just like, well, it's, we're not getting out of this anytime soon. But it was really cool. He was very generous to share that time with them. And that was just, it's not every day you get to interview somebody like that. So that was pretty cool. So thank you, Keith Lockhart, because I'm sure you're a huge fan of the Brass Junkies live streams.
Did you know? I won't say who, but one of my dear friends who you absolutely know and are friends with teaches one of Maestro Lockhart's kids an instrument.
Trumpet.
They are his. It's not trumpet.
Okay, because right before as the class was starting, he goes, "What time do you guys need me?" It was funny because the class is at 5:20, and at 5:20 he goes, "What time do you guys need me?" Which was funny. Because I thought, well, let's see where this goes. He goes, I've got to get my kid hooked up with his trumpet lesson online. So can I have like 5-10 minutes? And we're like, totally. Because we had some announcements to do anyway. But I thought that would have been an interesting, coinky dinky if it was, but no.
I know that you're not on Facebook, so you missed my post yesterday, which was my mother-in-law just asked Nicholas over Zoom what he wants for Christmas, and he told her he wants a sculpture of himself. It's actually going to happen. He's going to become a trumpet player. Why does the universe hate me so much? That's up to 302, mostly laughs, a few hearts from trumpet players, 42 comments. Well, anyway, fast forward to today. I show up at the gig, and Matt Harding, who I have known since we were in high school, who's the principal cornet of the President's Own Marine Band, he within 5 minutes, he somehow just worked into the conversation that he was hoping to get a sculpture of himself soon.
Hey, so, that's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Now, I heard Matt's was going to be made out of butter.
Is this my arch nemesis Matt Owen, or is this Matt Harding?
Harding.
Yeah,
Owens
made of butter.
Butter, no. Matt Owens would be made out of
I mean, he's
cheese.
my nemesis. So it's something. Yeah, but it would be bad cream cheese.
Yeah,
turned. It turned cream cheese.
Oh man, that's pretty rough.
Oh boy. You don't even eat cream cheese, do you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian.
I thought you were vegan.
I guess I have been periodically off and on, but I've been vegetarian for the vast majority of the time.
Tony Brisk just posted lard.
Lard.
Manteca. There you go. Oh, that's like one of the 5 Spanish. Matt Owen, this just got out of control a little bit, man. Hey, if you're going to throw it on the gauntlet, you need to be ready. So I'm a super, super threatening presence.
What would yours be made out of? Your sculpture?
My sculpture would probably be made out of opinions.
That's gonna be a big sculpture.
That's gonna be a big sculpture. Unsolicited hot takes, I think, is what my sculpture would be made out of. Yeah, as anybody who follows me on Facebook knows, they either appreciate my political posts or they put up with them for the rest of the content. So,
What would Nicholas's be made out of? Ice cream?
He does love. He loves chocolate.
Chocolate. There you go.
He loves.
But make it solid. Don't give me that hollow Easter bunny BS.
Yeah, that's
go
like,
full solid.
I think that's kind of it's indicative of of our country right now. It's like it's like bad chocolate hollow. It's just like it looks awesome. It's like huge, and then it's just like in the middle. It's just there's just nothing inside. Absolutely nothing. It's pretty dark. For kids. That's a good question, man. What would Nicholas's be made out of?
I'm going with dark chocolate, or is he like milk chocolate?
Yes.
Okay. If you say white chocolate, I'm going to end this call right now.
He's
got the little,
but really high quality white chocolate.
Yeah. Make me feel like I need to shave my teeth.
Have you had like world class white chocolate?
I don't know.
Because it's just good, or I'm not talking about just like Lindt or Ghirardelli's or something that's like good but not. I'm talking like absolute primo white chocolate. I'm not a white chocolate guy. Like, I will never order it. I will never pick it out of a dish ever. But like a real chocolatier, it can be pretty awesome. It tastes nothing like the mass-produced crap. So.
Chocolatier. So do you know who's an avid? You do know who's an avid chocolate aficionado? Seth Godin.
I did know that. Yes.
In fact, I think he's invested in a few. Because chocolate is an industry where there's like incredible abuse and exploitation of the workers.
Yes.
And so he's on a campaign to get people to pop for the extra money to buy responsibly sourced chocolate. And I think he's actually got skin in the
You mean like Hershey's?
Yeah. The whole town smells like chocolate.
I've been there a number of times.
We've been there at the exact same time. In fact, the last time I was there the exact same time as you.
That was pretty funny. Where I saw you posted something. That's the only reason I knew that.
Yeah, my kid ran.
Yep, and then I showed up at the park at the same. We were literally there at the same time and had no idea. So, yep, that was before hanging out in an amusement park could kill you.
It could always kill you.
Well, yes, fair enough. Speaking of fancy chocolate, I just learned one of my good friends, Greg, who spells it in a very delicious way. It's Graig. It's like Greg Nettles.
Wow.
Yeah, right. But he actually sells fancy chocolate and other snacks to high-end stores and boutiques. And last time he came through town,
that explains to the Graig.
There you go.
It's like Greg is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not buying fancy chocolate from that.
Leave
dude.
your card. We'll be in touch.
They see the fancy spelling. It's like,
whoa. Raig. Yes.
Give me three of everything.
That's right.
Well, one of the things that he left was a place called Good Now Farms Chocolate, which is in Sudbury, Massachusetts. I'd never heard of it, and it's like world class chocolate. Yeah, like the kind that I have a horrible sweet tooth. I mean, I can just
Which
eat
one?
Ridiculous amounts of chocolate. And this is the stuff you break off like a tiny chunk and chew, and eat it, and then like I don't want anymore. It's just like you just enjoy. Has really good stuff.
Probably the only reason I have not yet had a heart attack is that I don't have a sweet tooth. It's kind of shocking, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
But that's about it. 10 times a year I go, boy, I really need something sweet.
That's the same for me per week.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Lance.
All right.
I think that
this is where it ends.
I think that this is where it ends. So
right.
Now we have to figure out how to stop live stream. Are you ready?
I don't know.
I think that I figured out how to.